Good morning. We all slept in this morning. We've had a couple of just hard-working days on the farm, and I'm trying to get down and feed the animals. The cows are chewing on the side of the... What are you chewing on? Huh? Are you hungry? So we're gonna get some chores done and then we're gonna get out of here. We are going to a strawberry farm. Strawberry season is in full swing. So we're gonna pick up a bunch of strawberries, and I'm gonna show you what we do to preserve our strawberries, because we don't buy any over the winter. They're tasteless, they're disgusting from the grocery store, and they cost way too much money. So I will show you how we preserve them. I have a hungry cow. To eat them throughout the winter. Are we ready to go to the strawberry farm? Yeah, everybody's very excited, and they said that they're gonna eat them all before we even get home, which honestly, I think that might happen, but this is why we grow our own, so that the kids can just go out, eat them. They don't even make it in the door. It's just a fun thing. So here's hoping we come home with strawberries. Yay! We got 3 gallons of strawberries. This is just the beginning of the season. It will run for about a month. So we will be processing strawberries for a long time here, what it feels like. So let's go see what we're gonna do with them. So we have 3 gallons of strawberries that we picked up this morning. And we'll start to get these hulled and washed. And so what I'm gonna do is I have my sink full of just some cold water here. I'm going to cut the tops off these strawberries, plop them in the sink of water, and just kind of swish them around to get them washed up, and then we'll go ahead and further process them. So you can save the hulls and put this in a compost pile. You can give this to your chickens or your other livestock animals, but we don't let these go to waste because they are good entertainment for our children to feed the chickens. let's talk about some of the ways that we preserve our strawberries. I've got all of my strawberries in the sink. They are soaking and just getting, I mean, you could see the yellow pollen covering them. That's just what it's like in North Carolina right now. But so they're soaking, and what I'm going to do is start making a jam. And we don't like traditional jam in the aspect of extra sugar and pectin and all the things. Like, nature is sweet enough, we don't need added sugar. But part of the problem with that is that a lot of the traditional jam and jelly recipes require sugar in order for it to set. And so what we use is a recipe that is a bit untraditional, but works for us and still gels up really nicely. So I'm going to link my strawberry jam recipe in the description below, but what we make is called a strawberry chia seed jam. Now I know a lot of you are like, I don't know about that, but chia seeds have a wealth of nutrition to them. If you're looking to avoid a lot of added sugar and still keep that jam consistency for spreading on sandwiches or whatever, this is it. So chia seeds, when come into contact with like a liquid, will gel. The outer coating of them kind of gels up. They contain a fair amount of protein and some omega fats that are just really great for you. It really helps me feed my kids the jam that they love without all of the added sugar. And so I just let them have whatever they want. We use it on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, just rain in this house. I make sourdough English muffins, and I will also link that recipe below because they are delicious. They are a mandatory thing in our house, and the kids will spread jam on those. Anything you can think of that requires jam on top of yogurt and oatmeal, all of it. So we will make jam out of these strawberries, and I will show you a few more things that we will do to preserve the rest of these strawberries. So the next thing you can do to preserve your strawberries for the season is to dehydrate them. Now we have a small circular dehydrator, I'll link it below, and it's not very expensive, off of Amazon, and it does the job. You can slice them up smaller to put on the trays. The smaller they are, the faster it will go. And just Mylar bag the dehydrated strawberries with an oxygen pack in there. And we use dehydrated strawberries as just simple snacks. You can add them to cereals and oatmeals. You can even blast them in a food processor and use it as a powder, kind of like you would a freeze-dried strawberries. We don't have freeze dryer. And add that powder to a protein shake or to a cake mix. My daughter is born in December, and she always requests a strawberry cake for her birthday. And this is how I can make her a strawberry cake for her birthday in December by using the best strawberries from the season when they were the cheapest and best tasting. So dehydrating strawberries makes just a really awesome snack. It's very easy, it's very passive. You just set them in the dehydrator, walk away, and before you know it, you'll have plenty of strawberries to pack away. Now, one of the final things that we do to preserve our strawberries is to freeze them. And what I'll do is I'll get a cookie sheet, lay some parchment paper down, and I will chop up my strawberries based on how we typically use them from the frozen state. Usually it's smaller because I will put them in pancakes or muffins. I like to have them diced a little smaller. So we will dice up the strawberries. I will lay them in a single layer on the cookie sheet and then pop them in the freezer to flash freeze them. Once they are mostly frozen, I will then take them and put them in a Ziploc bag, a freezer bag, whatever you use to store away frozen goods for long term. And then we just pick and choose all throughout the winter on using frozen strawberries. It can be smoothies on top of yogurt, you know, just all the things. So I hope this really helps you in finding different ways to preserve your strawberries or any kind of berry really throughout the season. These are just very simple ways to preserve the best possible product and not have to pay a ton of money for just really tasteless food that comes from a really long ways away. So we'll be picking all throughout the season between strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, peaches, apples, you name it. We'll be putting it away. Follow me on Instagram at Wild and Woven Farm, and I will be showing you all throughout the season on there little bits and pieces of recipes and things that we're making. I'll also try to check in back here and maybe do a video or two about some other recipes that we're making with all of our harvest, and maybe a recipe about how we can and preserve. I'm gonna go ahead and unleash the children that have been manhandling a bunch of fresh strawberries outside and feeding the chickens. And so be sure to follow along, like, subscribe. It helps our family to continue to spread all of this wonderful homesteading, farming, ancestral living knowledge here on Wild and Woven Farm.